how you recounted his pastimes. Badri Narayan told Lord Shiva mischievously, "This is my house now, not yours." In this way we observe how the pure devotee of Lord Shiva surrendered everything to Krishna, body, mind, abode and soul, just like yourself, Srila Gurudev, who is completely surrendered to the lotus feet of Sri Govinda. Present day Srila Gurudev, you have embarked on the technological era with such grace and have transformed into a brilliant online educator, preacher, chanter of the Lord's holy name, community builder, and master of linguistics. In all of these successful services, you remain my compassionate spiritual father and well-wisher to so many Vaishnavas. As the curtain is about to fall on this offering, your constant presence through the decades reminds me of the pastime of Markandeya Rishi. Just as he desired to witness the passage of time through the yogas, through the ocean of destruction, viewing the Lord's universal form, the chaos moving through anarchy, he cried out to the Lord. In this devastation, the Emperor of Sweetness, Lord Balagopal, appeared on a floating banyan leaf to Markandeya Rishi, sucking his toes. The translation reads, with the lotus-like hand placing the lotus-like toes in the lotus-like mouth, reclining on the banyan leaf, that Mukunda I meditate upon. The Lord remained the constant in the inevitable changes of the existential experience. It is described in the Shastra that Krishna and the devotee are one in the same in quality. I am reminded how very much you, Srila Gurudev, have remained a spiritual constant beacon in my ever-fluctuating journey of life. May I show my deep gratitude to your divine grace. Thank you so much, your daughter, Rasamrita.
Dear Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you, Maharaj. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I have been meditating on the pastime after the battle of Kurukshetra, when Arjuna's chariot burst into flames. It is explained that it was destined to destruct in this way long before the battle had ended. When the battle was over, Arjuna had no more use for it, and Krishna therefore allowed it to be destroyed. It was Krishna who protected Arjuna and was making arrangements for his well-being. This makes me think about how merciful the Lord and his devotees are, and how important it is for us to surrender to his desire, as nothing will happen without his sanction. We do not know Krishna's plan. We are just like pawns that can only see one move at a time. Krishna, however, is the master chess player and can see the whole board. Although our lives can sometimes take unexpected turns that may bewilder us, we have the greatest opportunity because we have the fortune of taking shelter of the spiritual master whose protection and mercy is far beyond what we can understand with our material senses. Quote, accepting the bona fide spiritual master as one's life and soul and worshipable deity, accepting the bona fide spiritual master as one's life and soul and worshipable deity, the disciple should learn from him the process of pure devotional service. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, the soul of all souls, is inclined to give himself to his pure devotees. Therefore, the disciple should learn from the spiritual master to serve the Lord without duplicity and in such a faithful and favorable way that the Supreme Lord, being satisfied, will offer himself to the faithful disciple. That's from Srimad Bhagavatam 11, Canto 11, 3.22. The spiritual master is always under the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, and we learn how rare it is to have the opportunity to take shelter of such a bona fide spiritual master. What to speak of the misfortune of being residents of Kali Yuga? But our salvation ultimately rests on the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and his dedicated followers who tirelessly spread Krishna consciousness. It is their causeless mercy that has created our good fortune. Maharaj, I simply cannot imagine what my life would be like without your mercy. I am deeply indebted to you. I am grateful to have had the opportunity to have had your association from a young age, and your mercy in those very early days significantly impacted the course of my spiritual life and has in many ways shaped my life in Krishna consciousness. Much has happened over the years, and our relationship has grown, and despite the demands of your leadership role within ISKCON, taking care of hundreds of disciples, traveling tirelessly to preach even amidst ill health, you somehow always make time for me when I need some guidance. You were there for me in the most difficult period of my life, which was the time leading up to my Guru Maharaj leaving his body, and afterwards as well. Your support and care over that time helped me tremendously, and I will never forget it, Maharaj. Thank you for being someone that I can unreservedly look up to. I pray that in time I may have the capacity to express my gratitude to you in greater depth by sharing what you have taught me with others. Thank you, Maharaj. Happy Vyasa Puja. Your niece, Tirumala Devidasi.
I'd like now to ask the following devotees to please ready themselves. Her Grace, Ananda Vrindavan, Dasi, all the way from KwaZulu Natal. Let's give a huge Haribol to all the devotees from Durban today. And then I'd like to ask the following devotees as well to please ready themselves. Her Grace Keshori Devi Dasi, His Grace Prabhupada Priya Prabhu, His Grace Deva Deva Prabhu, and Her Grace Ashoka Manjari Devi Dasi.
Hi, Krishna Dev Guru Maharaj. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Chaitanya Swamini Namine Namo Bhakti Chaitanya Prabhupada Sevanam Sri Vraja Dhamma Ratmakada Sakantipa Navam. Yes, Guru Maharaj, please accept my most humble, respectful obeisances of the dust of your most sacred divine lotus feet on this most auspicious day of your Vyasa Puja. All glories to His divine grace, Srila Prabhupada. All glories to dearest Guru Maharaj, an ocean of mercy, an ocean of causeless mercy, benedictor of the most precious gift of the Lord's holy name and loving devotional service. Guru Maharaj, on his most auspicious Guru Maharaj, on this most auspicious, merciful day of your Sri Vyasa Puja, I would like to thank you for being my life's anchor, my ever well-wisher, my dearest father and spiritual master, and causeless mercy benedictor. I am so undeserving of all this mercy, but yet time and again, you just show up, smiling at me, at times to push me forward, and sometimes with just that look which my heart knows I can do it because you have my back. Guru Maharaj, it is now August 2024. We have come a long way in this lifetime, 25 years, quarter of a century. That is a long time of being kind to me. I remember meeting you and I was so humbled by your kindness towards me. I did not even know you on the first meeting of January 1999 after the devotee's wedding. I ran behind you like a stray dog running behind a sniff of morsel of food. But my sniff of morsel of food was a moment's association of a saintly devotee, and that steered my life towards meaning and service to our dearmost Lord, devotees, and the community. I realize now that you are even the captain of this ship. Guru Maharaj, from being that skinny me, always getting a few kind words, to a garland from you and guidance, I started being molded into the soul I am today. In the course of all of this time, I have done nothing meaningful for you, but you have always, and I mean always, have been guiding and edging me on. Guiding me is not easy, but you never give up. I have lived a somewhat good life by models and principles only by your mercy. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, of my many weaknesses, the one that is prominent is that I don't like to see people suffer. I would do anything to ease their burdens. When I felt the impact you had on my life, giving me hope, I wished everyone had that. There are a lot of friends I have lost to death by unnatural circumstances, and I wish they had this kind of love to have helped them live longer. I felt your mercy with our family, my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, my wider family, and the surviving few still love you so much. You saw us through everything, happy, sad, everything. Your care for our family and me encouraged me to preach. Guru Maharaj, after my mom departed this world, I thought I would be left alone, abandoned, but that never happened. You always made sure that wherever I was all right, and I thrived with your causeless mercy. I ran with every opportunity that came my way because Guru Maharaj is my father and shelter. He knows what is best for me. He always does. With his causeless mercy and strength, I am that eager caterpillar that is emerging from that cocoon, flying freely and radiantly in this material world, trying to preach to the receptor. Also waiting, really waiting eagerly to be amongst the sounds of the peacocks cooing and the cows mooing, hanging around till the horns of my dearest lordships, Sri Sri Radhishama Sundar, sound for me to enter Vrindavan. My dearest Guru Maharaj, my dearest father, I love you with all my heart, to the point of being childlike and doing silly things sometimes to get your attention and mercy. I remain ever so grateful to you eternally for being so kind to me. You are the wind beneath my wings that catapult me to rise and shine every day, to serve, to smile, to try to be an embodiment of the fraction of your love that can guide the world into being safe from the pangs of material suffering. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. I shudder to think where I would be without your causeless mercy. Really, I do. You are my safe haven. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the special mercy at the airports, one of my favorite pastimes. At the airport, I have to run behind you when you are going into boarding because you walk so steadily and I'm running behind you. From the deepest regions of my heart, I pray that I may make a seat there for you and I may be an ornament, not a scar on your name. Guru Maharaj, Sri Vyasa Puja days are generally long, but you so patiently and kindly see us through. You are an embodiment of patience, punctuality, mercy, care, and love. You are my inspiration because nothing stops you. You know I have been around long enough, and I should glorify you with Shastra. But telling you this from my heart is needful right now, because if there is love in the heart, then only love comes out, and the love that goes into this heart comes from your mercy. I offer my obeisances eternally and unlimited to you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for being my ever well-wisher. I wish you most glorious and blissful Sri Vyasa Puja, Guru Maharaj. May your mercy always usher me like the silent wind so that I may continue serving Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON and make you proud one day. In conclusion, I would like to say, please accept my humble obeisances at the dust of your divine, sacred lotus feet, and please forgive my offenses, Guru Maharaj. Your recent quote was from your Vyasa Puja address from 2020. One devotee said something several years ago. I quote, One devotee said something several years ago. Their Krishna consciousness is so nice. We must just get into it and get the nectar and just enjoy it and just relish Krishna consciousness. It's just so wonderful. But then the devotee said, but we should never forget where we get it from. Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for being my well-wisher, guide, anchor, my everything. I remain eternally grateful to you. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Please bless me. Please bless me to be worthy of being your disciple and never let you down. Thank you for everything, Guru Maharaj. The fully servant and daughter Ananda Vrindavan Dasi.
Hare Krishna, Mukam Karoti Vachalam, Pangam Lagaye, Giram, Yatrupatam Ham Bande, Shri Gurum Dina Taranam. Offer my respectful obeisance unto my spiritual master, the deliverer of the fallen souls, the mercy turns the dumb into eloquent speakers, enable the lame to cross mountains. Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhakti Chaitanya, Swami Tinamine, Namami Bhakti Chaitanya, Prabhupada Seva, Prabhupada Anusevinam, Shri Vrajadam Matmya Padarsakam, Kripa Alabam. Hare Krishna, dear Gurudev, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Krishna Balaram, all glories to Prabhupada, all glories to your divine grace. Please forgive us fallen souls for all our offenses caused. A blessed Vyasa Puja to our dearest spiritual father. In Srimad Bhagavatam 11.3.21, King Nimi requests Sri Prabhupada to explain regarding liberation from Maya and Karma. Tasmat Gurum Prapadyate Jiksasu Shreya Uttamam Sabde Paranisnatam Brahmani Upas As Prayam. Therefore, any person who seriously desires real happiness must seek a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by initiation. The qualification of the bona fide guru is that he has realized the conclusion of the scriptures by deliberation and is able to convince others of those conclusions. Such great personalities who have taken shelter of the Supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material considerations, should be understood to be a bona fide spiritual master. In the purpose of Prabhupada states, the bona fide spiritual master must be nisnatam, deeply experienced in authorized Vedic literatures and in practical understanding of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Without scriptural knowledge and practical realization of the Personality of Godhead, a so-called guru will be unable to dissipate the doubts of his disciples and therefore unable to execute the function of bringing the sincere student back home, back to Godhead. A bona fide spiritual master is one who is expert in all of those subject matters. The Lord said in Bhagavad Gita 9.3, Ashradha Dana Purusha Dharmaya Sya Parantapa Aprapya Mam Nivartante Mrityo Samsara Varmani. Those who are not faithful on the path of devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of foes, but return to birth and death in this material world. Therefore, the spiritual master must awaken the disciple to the eternal existence of devotional service. The example may be given that in the early mornings, a mother may enter her child's room and wake him up so that he can attend school. The child does not want to get up, but the loving mother forces him to get up and sends him off to school to be educated. Similarly, the bona fide spiritual master awakens the sleeping soul and sends him to the Gurukul, where he can be trained in perfect knowledge. The duty of the bona fide guru is to connect the disciple to Krishna. In these verses, we see your divine grace being described. Your divine grace is our dear, most spiritual Father that has awakened our eternal existence to devotional service. Our spiritual Father awakens us, sleeping souls, to be trained in these loving spiritual engagements. We take shelter of your lotus feet because we know that your guidance is the only way to reach our goal of life. By reading these slokas and purports, we are more convinced and assured that the divine grace has our path clean of all obstruction in spiritual progress. Thanks, dear Gurudev, for giving us this perfect taste of transcendental knowledge. It's so sweet and intoxicating that we can never be satiated. The true meaning of what this material world is and why we are here is revealed to us by divine grace, guiding us through the online classes. In this stage of our lives, it is now perfectly understood by the callous mercy of a divine grace. The time and effort that divine grace takes to impart this transcendental knowledge to us fallen souls is amazing and contagious. Every morning, irrespective of your health conditions or whatever your divine grace or wherever your divine grace is, you are up chanting japa, awakening our sleeping souls. Sometimes we cry when we hear those coughs and our hearts are shattered. That gives us so much motivation for our spiritual endeavors. Our spiritual father gives us a true reflection of the importance to maintain our sadhana. And, oh my God, the preaching efforts. Dearest Gurudev, we realize that without Krishna and the mercy of your divine grace, our lives are worthless.
Page 30, Guru. My anxiety is my offering to you, my dearest Srila Gurudev. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you, my eternal Lord and Master. This year has severely tested me in your services at your lotus feet, practically the most it has ever been. Your body is heavily showing signs of the years and years of strain you have imposed upon yourself in traveling and preaching in your service to Srila Prabhupada. Some weeks ago, Karunamai and your Divine Grace and I were recollecting the past many years of difficult bodily illnesses and surgeries that you have suffered, and what extraordinary events occurred at each time. Although very grateful for being a part of your pastimes and care, I clearly recall my extreme anxiety during all of those situations. How does one tell his spiritual master that his body is infested with a terminal disease? How does one tell his Lord that his doctors feel that he will leave his body unless they operate immediately? How does one tell his highest authority that I'm sorry, but you shouldn't do this or should do that? How does one say to his master that his good intention isn't reflected in his action? However, the reverse is also true. How does the spiritual master accept the negative actions of the disciple? How does he accept service from an unqualified and incompetent disciple? How does he forgive so freely? How does he ask for forgiveness? How does he allow himself to be under the arrangements of someone else? With lots of anxiety and mistakes on my part, and deep love and tolerance on yours, Srila Gurudev. With a deeply rooted relationship of love that most may not ever understand. This year, more than ever, you have proven your love for me. In January 2003, I asked you about anxiety I feel in trying to carry out my services at your lotus feet. Your response was, anxiety for Krishna is good, and anxiety for the spiritual master's service is also good for us. This shows that the relationship is growing deeper. The key to success in spiritual life is to always endeavor to please the spiritual master and follow his instructions. One who is determined in his efforts will advance very quickly in Krishna consciousness. Over 2 decades later, I still feel this anxiety practically always present, but now it's welcomed. I pride myself in always trying to manage things nicely for your pleasure, and I believe that this is what really pleases you the most, at least from my service perspective, that is. Over the years, I have tried to learn what and how you like things done, and these have become my life's mission, the little things that please you on a daily basis. From how you like your blanket to be folded into 3 parts so that you get into it more easily, or what must be on your bedside table at night, from what must be packed into which bag for which trip, to the specific shade of your cloth, from the fact that you don't like. Sorry, I lost the page. Can I have the book, please? Page 30, yeah? From the fact that you don't like floppy bedroom slippers, to how you like your socks to be put on and folded down your ankles, or that you like to sit on the front right window seat on a flight, from your favorite cooked preparations to how you don't like the knot on your seeker behind your head on your pillow when you sleep. The list is endless. There are so many little things that only personal servants know about you, but even amongst them, you have shared some things with me that nobody else alive may even know. But what do I have to show for it? I'm always trying my utmost best to manage everything nicely for your pleasure, but it often seems like I've disappointed you. There's always something that I could have done better or should have thought of earlier. I am always in anxiety for your care, anxiety that I may have forgotten or flawed, and that it will cause you some discomfort or dissatisfaction. My entire being has become anxiety in striving for the perfection of your service. Satsvarup. Prabhupada, we are only neophytes. How we can know if your anxiety is still material, if our anxiety is still material when we feel anxiety in devotional service? Prabhupada, no. If you feel anxiety for Krishna, then it is not material. That anxiety is not. That is love. That is pure love. That. Why you become anxious for our children? Because there is love. Morning Walk, Bombay, 1 May 1974. Practically, my entire day is in thoughts of you and your services to Srila Prabhupada, and how to carry it out for your pleasure. I'm even heavily criticized for being so involved in your services, but my anxiety is for your pleasure and of no one else's concern. Srila Prabhupada, the Vedas declare, Yasya deve para bhaktir, yatha deve tata gurau. Tasyate katina hai arta, prakshante matha manha. From the Upanishads 6:23. Only unto one who has unflinching devotion to the spiritual master does transcendental knowledge become automatically revealed. Prabhupada, to respect and love the spiritual master as God, that is brainwash? Hamsaduta. It is the strength of our movement, that is faith in Guru and Shastra. Prabhupada, and everyone is writing. Let them write that, so they can So they see that. Why this one man is so respectfully accepted. It is brainwash. Hamsadutta. Yes, generally it happens like that. If someone becomes very prominent, then they want to remove him. This is the tendency of the world. Hari sorry. Yeah. Because the demons, they think anyone who will allow themselves to become the servant of someone else, then they think he has got very weak character. Then they accuse the person who is in charge of manipulating that person. Room Conversation, October 31st, 1976, Vrindavan. As I am deeply attached to you, my Lord and Master, I glorify this anxiety that keeps me close to your lotus feet. And in some ways, it is this very same anxiety for your service and my love that is useful to you. Please always keep me in anxiety for your pleasure, as I know no other life but my devotion to you. Your servant, David Devadas.
Offerings on page 19.
19.
Hmm?
19.
Yeah. Do you have another book for this? There was two, I saw it in the back.
Dearest Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances at the dust of your divine lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you on this auspicious occasion of your Vyasa Puja. I feel very humbled to have the opportunity to write to you on this auspicious day of your appearance. I'm very fortunate that you entered my life and heart. Often I think of where I would be without you, your disciples, and your preaching. In your enlightening association is hope for everyone. Guru Maharaj, you have given us many innovative ways of getting your association through your traveling, your lectures, live broadcast, etc. In every activity of yours, you never fail to strengthen our commitment and conviction to Srila Prabhupada and his ISKCON. I beg the mercy of their lordships, Shri Shri Radha Radhanath, to always keep you in best health for preaching Krishna consciousness and helping others all over the world. I am chanting my rounds every day and reading Srimad Bhagavatam. I know my mission in this life is service and distribution of the knowledge to others. Please bless me so that I can serve nicely, follow your instructions, and become a worthy servant of yours. Kindly allow me to always take shelter of your lotus feet. I love you eternally, my dear Father. Happy blessed Vyasa Puja, dearest Guru Maharaj. Your eternal servant and daughter, Ashoka Manjari Devi Dasi. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'd like to now ask the following devotees to please ready themselves. Bhakti Jessica Mataji, are you here? Thank you. And they will be followed by... oh, can't hear me. Oh. Okay, is this better? Okay, so Bhakti and Jessica Mataji, and then we've got His Grace Mukunda Prabhu, Her Grace Lalita Kunt Mataji, and also Her Grace Manikanya Devi Dasi, the President of USA, is also here with us today. And then can I also ask Her Grace Karunamai Devi Dasi to please ready herself.
Hare Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaye Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Nityananda Anand Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Jaya Shri Krishna Ki Jai Jaya Prabhupada Ki Jai Jaya Shri Gurudev Kujai. Hare Krishna, my dear Father and Spiritual Master Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj. Kindly receive my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories unto you. My dear Father, thank you so much for your kind support along my journey and the guidance and support received during my time of need. Thank you for always giving me the opportunity to share my experiences and my challenges with you, and for being there to guide me, to hear me in person, and of these challenges that I have been going through. Thank you for helping me navigate along this journey, and it has been the most I have ever had. You are indeed a father and more. For when the world has troubled me, because it has done so many times, and I have no other places where I could go to, I only have one place to return to, and that place is at your lotus feet. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We're just going to pause for a few minutes because we need to refill the generator with diesel. So everything's going to cut off. 1 minute, I've been told. I just wanted to ask His Grace Mukunda Prabhu, if I could, there's a devotee that has to leave for a flight to Durban. Is it okay with you? Radha Thakurani Wapaji, Her Grace, if you can please get ready. But just give us a minute. So if we can all chant together. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare